And welcome back to my vlog. I'm going to do a little interlude here for I don't know how long in the Bastiat book. This is another one from my grandfather, who is no longer with us. He was the old schoolmaster. I don't know if you can see all that. I'm not sure how that works. Sadness in the family. Aaron's granny died today, and I didn't know what I was going to read, and I wanted to read something from my grandfather. And he's got one here called The Day Pa Died. And so I'm reading this. There's a message I have afterwards. The Day Pa Died. It happened about the 1st of September. I was at that age where kids do not pay much attention to their parents. And as the youngest of 7 children, my parents did not pay much attention to me. They were too busy making a living. My brother and I were cutting corn. I was short and fat and chubby. Those blasted corn stalks would go all awry in my arms. They would get between my legs and trip me. The ears were way above my head, and it made the stalks top heavy. My face was cut and bleeding and burning. If there's a tougher job, I can't think of it right now. I hate to cut corn. I always did hate to cut corn. If I should go to the bad place when I die, I'll bet they make me cut corn. When my brother and I were ready to go back to the field after dinner, Ma said she would hang a white sheet on the dinner bell pole to tell us when to come home. She might want us to come home early, and she did not want to ring the dinner bell. It would be sure to scare everyone in the neighborhood. My mind was so dull with the thought of another hot afternoon in that cornfield, I paid little attention to what she was talking about. We could see the dinner bell pole from only one corner of the field, so we worked only in that corner. I would wrestle an armload of the detestable, abominable stuff to the corn shock, and then I would take a long look for the white sheet. My brother went at this corn cutting job like a whirling dervish. He could cut 3 times as much as I could. Finally, I saw the white sheet. I yelled for my brother to come and look. He was real quiet for a long time. Then he said, "Come on, let's go. There's something wrong." And away we went like the wind. He was tall and skinny and could run like a deer. He took the fences in one jump. I waddled along like a fat toad with a stomach full of lead. I saw him bounding in the lane as I laboriously climbed to the top of a rail fence to catch my breath and rest a while. When I got home, everything was quiet. It wasn't long, though, until some neighbors came. Then the older children, who were married, began to arrive. Then, of course, I knew that something must be wrong. Ma cried a little every time she greeted someone. It seems that Pa got up out of the big bed we had in the room especially for him. He had not been feeling very well for about a week. They got the big bed out so he would be more comfortable. He suffered a bad crick in his back and did not seem to snap out of it the way he should. About the middle of the afternoon, he got up and started for the door. It was a door we hardly ever used. There was an old wooden rotten step there and a brick walk below it. He started to fall, but Ma was able to catch him before he hit the brick walk. She was able to get him back to bed. Then she hung up the white sheet. The neighbors and family were notified by a sort of pony express. There were no telephones. My brother and a couple other neighbor kids rode all over the countryside telling the people that Pa was terribly sick. I have no idea how they knew that he was so sick. I think Ma knew, though, and she sent the word far and wide. I guess the neighbors and the older brothers and sisters did know that he had been in pretty bad shape, but it never dawned on me that anything was so seriously wrong. We never were very close to each other, and so I did not miss anything while he was there in bed under strange circumstances. We never had a bed in the big room before. They called the doctor. Later in the evening, Pa began to breathe hard, and he moaned and groaned a lot. The doctor was watching him closely. Walter was rubbing his feet. I remember he said once, "His feet are getting cold." The family and friends were all sitting around, and no one said a word. Everything was quiet except for his breathing and groaning. Then the doctor looked up and shook his head. Pa had died. And that's the end of that. I'll write a few of my thoughts. I won't speak them underneath my blog. I'll write them. Make it a great day, and bye for now.